Hello vlog. Here we are. Hello Lancia Delta racing fans. Here we are in the M5 on the way to see the race car. Coming out to the weekend and just off to see the race car, make sure everything's ready for a test on Tuesday. So this vlog's going to be a quick update to let you know what our plans are for the next year, what we've been doing over the winter. So some of you may have seen from the other videos that we've got a Fiat Uno Turbo that we're getting ready for doing some single events throughout the year with the Classic Sports Car Club. It's the same club we raced with last year and the year before in the Lancia. So Classic Sports Car Club's a great club, does lots of different series for different era cars. The Uno we're putting into the Turbo tin tops, which I think is now at its second year and is specifically for front wheel drive turbocharged hatchbacks and saloon cars for any year. So up against supercharged and turbocharged minis, Vauxhall Astras, Peugeots, yeah, you name it, they're all there. We chose the Uno chiefly because it's light and it's got a good bottom end to the engine, so you can get quite a lot of horsepower out of it just by letting it breathe better and adding some more boost, which is always good. But with the Lancia, we've decided to go for a championship this year. It's always good having something other than a race win, which is always great to aim for. So we're competing in the Alfa Romeo Championship. So last year they let Fiats and Lancias run in their championship alongside the Alfa Romeos. Now the Lancia is fitting into the highest power class called the modified class. So this is an unrestricted series or championship that allows you to do basically anything other than a hill climb monster. It's pretty much all good to go. There's no power to weight, there's no limit that you can widen the track, and specifically for us the big change is you can run on whatever tyres you like. And if you can run on whatever tyres you like, the only tyres you really run on are slicks, because they're much faster than track day tyres or road tyres. If you have a look in the corner, I'll put a link up to a comparison that I did last year, where I did a reasonable lap on slicks and a reasonable lap on semi-slick tyres, and you can see that there's difference going into apex and out the corners everywhere. You get lap time everywhere with slick tyres. They're awesome. So it's new for us. We're going to do 8 meetings, 16 rounds, and we'll be competing for class wins and overall wins, obviously, because we're in the least restricted class, so we should be going for overall wins. And then the championship is a points-based system. Everybody gets points in their class, not for overall positions, and then it's who has the most amount of points out of all of the classes wins the overall drivers' championship, which means not only up against the people in your own class, but you're up against everyone else in their class. So if you have somebody dominating their class, you need to dominate your class as much or better than they do. So that's a really interesting. It's going to be a really interesting season to see how our title challenge progresses. There's a slight concern that we have with the Alfa Romeo Championship, specifically on the modified class, because they don't always get the grid sizes that they do in the other classes. And if there aren't that many people in a class, even if you come first in the class, you don't get the equivalent points for first. You get slightly less. And if there's only you competing, then the most amount of points you can get is equivalent to fourth, and you can't win a championship coming fourth. You have to be up there all the time, because you can bet there are other people up there all the time anyway. So if the modified class doesn't get the grid numbers that we need in order to score maximum points, or the Lancia doesn't turn out to be competitive, although obviously we wouldn't do it if we didn't think it would be, we have the option of going to the power trophy class, and that is a pure power to weight class. Yeah, that's a pure power to weight class, and I think with the Fiat Uno, that's right in the sweet spot of 175 brake horsepower per ton, and the Uno doesn't do 175 horsepower currently, but it doesn't weigh a ton either. So we may have to do some mods to the engine to get it so it's right on that limit. You may have seen, if you follow the Fiat Uno, recently accidentally on purpose bought a ECU off eBay, a Motec M48, so we can wire that in, get it mapped, and try and map the boost so it just exactly sits on that 175 brake horsepower per ton level throughout the rev range, so make it as most competitive as we can. Yeah, so that's what we've got planned for this year. Should be really exciting, especially with the slicks. Racing on slicks, they take longer to warm up than the semi-slick tyres, and when they do, they give you so much grip, but when you go over it, there's nothing. So it's 0 to 0, much more than it is racing with semi-slicks. There's much less give in slicks, and as a consequence, you're usually going much faster when you're pointing towards a wall. So hopefully we should do well. Be good to go for a championship. So we've got testing coming on Tuesday, which we've got a day off work, and then we've got race qualifying Friday lunchtime, race Saturday evening at 6 p.m. So it's sort of a semi-night race, that one, and race Sunday lunchtime. I'm going to try and stream them live on Facebook if I can, although I did try that last year and I couldn't get it to work, so I had to end up streaming on YouTube. So if you follow both, you should at least have a reasonable chance of being able to stream it live. And I'll post updates on the page as we go through the weekend with our results. Plus, coming out a week or so after will be snippets, highlights, and full unedited videos. So don't forget to subscribe. Any comments, leave them below, as every YouTuber asks you to do. So one thing I forgot to mention was the work that we've done over the winter. So we gave the opportunity for some people to come and experience the Lancia. So we took the car to Silverstone, did a few laps, but fortunately we had a problem with the clutch. So the clutch failed, and that's caused quite a lot of damage to obviously the clutch failed, but the flywheel surface got scored. So the flywheel's just come back from the machine shop to put a new face on the flywheel, and then we're going to put the Delta S4 clutch back in with the Bacchi Romano dog ring geared racing gearbox, so we don't have any of those problems anymore, which is cost many thousands. Such is the way with these things. So as a consequence, we won't be running any more those days anymore, because it was horrifically expensive, and I did that thing of pleasing nobody and just upsetting a lot of people. So we're going to honour the commitments that we've made to people who didn't want a refund, and then we won't be doing it anymore, unless it's over £500 a session. But I don't think anybody's going to be interested in it at that amount of money. So yeah, thanks for watching. Do appreciate it. Keep an eye out on Facebook, YouTube, and catch you soon.